All right, for this video, we're going to go ahead and do exercise number 3. Now, don't worry about the numbers. We don't do these in order. They're just to show, they're just a title since these don't really have names like the other ones did. This is also going to be one of our first ones that we do in millimeters. So we're not going to be using inches anymore. So I do not have to change that in the document settings. I'm going to go ahead and create my first sketch. And as usual, go ahead and click on the front of the view cube and then click on the square that's right here. So we're drawing on the ZX plane or XZ plane. I'm also going to open up my sketch folder here so I can check for my padlock once I'm done. Now, this one's actually going to be pretty simple. It's going to be a very easy padlock to get because all we're going to do here is get this squarish sort of rectangle. Technically, it's a rectangle because it isn't this isn't going to be a cube. It'll be a rectangular prism, which is the geometric word for that. And the reason why is because it is 64 by 75 by 88. So not a cube. None of the sides are the same, but very close. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and use the rectangle tool. Start it on the origin, pull upwards, and give this some dimensions. So I want this to be 88. And I want this to be 75. $88 by 75. And that's it. That's all I need for this because I'm just making a 3D rectangle. So I'm going to click Finish Sketch and the Home button and extrude this rectangle out by its depth, which is 64. Press Enter. And there is my rectangular prism so far. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and push in these rectangles and this sort of L on the top. So I'm going to click on the right side and create a sketch there and make a rectangle just like this. And then extrude that in by 25. So that's the next step. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and click on the right side there. I'm going to click Create Sketch. I'm going to put a rectangle inside of the side of this. And I'm going to snap the bottom left corner, coincident. So I'm using the coincident tool here on the ribbon, right there, to snap this corner to this corner, the origin. So click there, and it snaps. So now all I have to do is set how long and how tall this rectangle is. Well, I know that from this side of the rectangle to the back end of the piece is 16 millimeters. So I'm going to use my dimension tool, click on this line, pull down 16. And I know the total height of this is 38. I have my rectangle and I'm done. Sketch 2, red padlock, finished, finish sketch, click, extrude. Now I'm going in 25. So I'm going to do negative 25 and press enter. And there's the first part done. I'm going to go ahead and select the front view because my next goal is to go ahead and get this guy, which is this rectangle here, extruded in. Like that. So I'm going to go ahead and once I've got that face selected, that front face, I'm going to click Create Sketch. I'm going to do another rectangle where I snap using the coincident tool, the top corner now, top left, to the top left of the piece right there. Okay, so it's going to be coincident tool, clicking there, click, Now that it's snapped, I'm going to use the dimension tool to start dimensioning. All right. From here to here, I'm seeing is 38. And from here to the bottom, I'm seeing 20. 38 and 20. That's where I'm getting that number from. I am done. Sketch 3, padlock, finish sketch. So very easy sketches here. Just might be a little complicated process of figuring out like what your next step is going to be, but these are pretty simple. So I'm going to go ahead and select this and extrude it. And now I actually do have something that's a little confusing because they didn't give us the distance from here to here, right? We know that the entire depth of this piece is 64. We know that this to where it ends here is 51. So we can do 64 minus 51. But remember that a positive result is going to pull this way, and we want to cut, right? So what we're going to have to do is do negative 64 to push us all the way to the back of the piece. And then we can add, remember that Fusion, if you just use the symbols here, we can basically just do math problems. So negative 64 to push us all the way to the back of the piece, and then add 51 millimeters back, and that's our answer. And of course, 64 minus 51 is 13, which might be a little hard to see there, but if I zoom in, we are extruding backwards 13 millimeters, and that is correct. And we could have done that math ourselves, but I like Fusion to do the math. Makes it less possible for human error to be in the equation. So now that I'm cutting and it's 13 millimeters, I'm good. I'm clicking OK. Oh, because of my zooming tool, that didn't work. So I'm gonna do that again. Negative 64 plus 51. Enter. There we go. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and do that L on the top. So I'm gonna select the top face and click Create Sketch. Now what I'm gonna do is inside of the piece, create a horizontal line going down to a vertical line. I'm going to do that again. Going to create a horizontal line down to a vertical line. But remember, not snapping to anything yet. I'm going to use my coincident tool to do that. So I'm going to use the coincident tool again to snap each of these ends, each of these white dots, to the line that they're supposed to be on. So that one's going to go there. That one's going to go there. That one's going to go there. And that one is going to go there. Okay. Like so. Click, 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 click. Now these are way too close together, but that's okay. Just zoom in and I'm good. Click, click. Once I'm done with all of that, I click escape to get out of the coincident tool and pull, because these two lines got way too close to each other. I'm just going to pull them apart by clicking on this and dragging away just like that. Now I can start to work on the dimensions. So I know that this entire line up here is 73. That's probably the easiest one to see. This line here, 73. So dimension that, 73 millimeters. Easy. All right. Now the gap between here and here is 20. That seems pretty easy to see as well. Click, click, pull it up 20. And then from the end of here back, right? See how I have the 20. So the entire thing from here to the other end of the piece was 73. But then there to there is 20. So now the rest of this from this green line to the blue line is 53. So I'm going to do that now. Here to the back of the piece. Oh, it's over constrained because this is already locked in because of the 73. I didn't have to do that. But it was good to, it was a good exercise just to see what these lines are and what they do. So now 15 from the top to this first line here. So pull that over and notice that I'm putting each dimension where it is on the drawing. Like, you know, I'm pulling this 15 because I could have put this 15 on the other side, right? But I'm not doing that. I'm putting them where they are on the drawing. It's much easier to keep track of things that way, because now I can just move over and notice that from the top of the piece to the next blue line that I have is 35. Click, click. Right? It's easy, real easy for me to keep track of everything this way. And that's it. I've got my red padlock, got my little L all dialed in. I can click Finish Sketch, home button on the view cube, click my L, and now I know that it's got to go down. That's the last number, which is right here, 15, from the top to the bottom, which tells me the depth that I have to extrude. So click on the L, click Extrude, negative 15, boom. That was an easy one. What am I at? 11 minutes. That one was a quick one. As usual, I hope that that helped you complete this and learn a little bit more about CAD modeling on Fusion 360. See you in the next video.